if an INFJ makes a list on which type is the best at reading people, and INFJ says, "Oh, my type goes S tier," nobody's gonna complain. All right, what's up, y'all? So I feel like I'm gonna just make a video talking about how people are weird. I'm gonna tell you that right now. How every once in a while I get somebody in the comment section, and I knew this was probably gonna happen, but I get somebody in the comment section sometimes like, "Why do you keep putting your own type so high on your tier list?" Basically trying to imply that I'm conceited or something, or they might actually say it, or I get these comments here and there, and it's weird because it links back to like a real life phenomenon where people oftentimes, I've talked about this before on my TikTok, right? Where I talk about stuff like this, but like it's weird how people think you're just not supposed to be aware of the things that you're good at or can be good at. They think that's humility. They think it's humility to pretend like you're not good at anything. Um, really because people don't want to accept the truth of it because they don't want you to be good at things. That's a lot of times it, and a lot of times it's people who got low self esteem. They think humility is you just going around telling everybody, "Oh, I'm not good at anything," or pretending like you're not good at anything, even though you actually are good at something. A lot of that is linked to that. I'll tell you that right now. Um, but also, a reason why I put my type high on the list most of the time is because this should be a well-known thing. But anybody that's been studying Myers-Briggs long enough knows that most experts will tell you that there's not a lot of things that ISTPs are not going to be good at. It's hard for ISTP not to be good at something if we focus on it. Most ISTPs, we're one of the most well-rounded types. That's why I often will put my type high on lists. Not because I'm trying to stroke my own ego or make myself feel better. It's because it's actually the truth. And I've mentioned this before, but it's like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to just lie about it just so I can make myself look more humble? Like, come on, bro. I'm not gonna fake it. If my type, if my type is good at something, I'm just gonna say it. Even if I happen to be that type. If somebody else says it, it doesn't make them look arrogant. So what makes it different that I happen to be an ISTP? But if anybody, if people are shocked by that, it lets me know that they haven't been studying Myers-Briggs that long. It reveals their lack of knowledge. They haven't seen um, what other experts have even said. I'm not saying you should follow blindly other experts, but you should know that it's not crazy for me to put my type high on a lot of lists because ISTPs were actually a very well-rounded type. We're not just car mechanics and stuff like that. We're a competency-based type. Um, so it's really not a lot of things that ISTP is not going to be good at. It's just that simple. I'm not saying that to stroke my own ego. I'm not saying that to try to be conceited or nothing like that. It's the truth. I'm not. I'm a confident dude myself as well. People also don't want you to be confident. They don't want you to know what you're good at and what you're capable of. A lot of people don't like that because it it messes with their ego. I'm gonna just tell you that. People who have low self esteem don't like that. They want everybody to feel like how they feel about themselves. I'm gonna tell you that right now. But um, that's just what it is, man. We're just a well-rounded. The only things that we might not be good at is stuff that have to do with caretaking roles or having to be um, things that involve us traveling to look after people emotionally, consistently, every day type of stuff, or maybe something like nursing. I don't think we would make good nurses. You know what I'm saying? Um, Stuff that require a lot of emotional labor day by day. We are not really good at those type of things, but we're literally competency based. That's like we base a lot of things on competency. Even we can take something that other people may not look at as a skill or something like that, and we can turn it into that. Like we can break it down and turn it into that. And that's just how we wired. You know what I'm saying? If an ICP decides to apply themselves, of course, there's a lot of ICPs who don't um, exactly apply themselves, or now maybe they're not aware of what they're capable of and stuff like that. But that's any type. We're just super rare around it like that. Sometimes I like to call us the wild card type because it's like we're just kind of like the wild card. We can kind of um, adapt and fit in a lot of spaces. But like, bro, I just had to address that because some of these people in these comment section, and it's also linked back to people being mad because I'm ranking sensor types higher than intuitive types on certain things, and it's like, bro, what do you want me to do? I'm not here. I'm not one of those channels that's gonna constantly stroke the ego of intuitives. It's just that simple. A lot of y'all, the reason why some of y'all are so attached to that is because y'all don't actually do anything in real life. Y'all using Myers-Briggs to make it seem like y'all are great. It's like, why don't you do great things in real life to prove that you're great instead of using something like Myers-Briggs to prove it? You like telling people, oh, I'm an INFJ, and they say INFJs are this and that and this and that because you don't actually do anything in real life to prove it. But anyways, that's what a lot of these fake INFJs, like people who are probably mistyped, do. You know what I'm saying? Not even some of them, not even mistyped. Some of them are sadly are INFJ. They're just not really mature. You know what I'm saying? They're not mature people. Um, and I feel like it should be common sense. Like, why is it something I had to explain to people? Why am I having to explain that you shouldn't be trying to say this group of people is superior to this group of people? I thought that's something that us as human beings have grown past. Hence, didn't we have racism in the past and stuff like that and things like that that we've overcome already? Like, why am I having to explain to people that it's not good to say that this group of people is more superior to this group of people by default? Doesn't that remind you of racism or something? Like, literally all the types are made equally. They just are different. Like, yeah, there's no type that's like born to be up here and this type born, like, it doesn't work like that. But the fact that I had to explain these type of things to people, it really shows me that there's something wrong in the world. You know what I mean? But back to my main point, um, bro. Like, if I'm making a list and my type happens to rank high, and in some of these lists, I've tried really hard not to rank my type too high, or try not to. I've tried not to feel like I'm stroking my own ego, but it's like I can't. I can't just say my type doesn't go high on this list if my type does go high on this list. If I'm being completely honest. Um, but yeah, bro. And a lot of it too is people see my arguments and they can't refute them, so they got to come and be like, "Oh, why you rank your type high?" Like, bro, what do you want me to do? And like I said, it really just reveals like that's how I know somebody hasn't been in Myers-Briggs for that long and they just started learning about it too, because this is stuff like you should hear often. Like, that's type of stuff that money experts will tell you. ISTPs tend to be good at a lot of things. We're nicknamed the virtuoso. Why do you think we're nicknamed the virtuoso on what's the name of that website? Um, I know what I'm talking about. The most popular website, that Myers-Briggs website people use. They call us the virtuoso for a reason, because we can be good at many different things. We're competency based. We can skill build at almost anything. That's just the strengths of us. We're just balanced like that. Does it make us superior? No, it does not make us superior to other types. If I'm being real, any type can be good at anything if they want to. Um, it's just like we just have certain inclinations towards certain things. That's what it is. The inclination doesn't mean that you can't do something. It just means you're more inclined to be good at something else. And now if you do become good at something that you're not naturally inclined to be good at, based on your type, you'll probably have a unique approach to it, that you figured out, happen to figure it out on your own. But it's just that simple. Anyways, I'm not going to pretend. I'm not going to pretend my type doesn't rank high on something that we actually do rank high on, just to make y'all say, "Oh, see, he's humble." I'm not being humble by doing that. Well, technically speaking, I guess that is being humble, but I'm not finna overdo it. I'm not finna pretend like I'm not good at something or my type is not good at something that we're actually good at. I'm going to say it. Like, don't get mad because I didn't rank your type high and you wanted your type to be ranked higher. That's really what all this about most of the time. Oh, you rank your type high, but you didn't rank my type high. But they're not gonna say that a lot of time. They'll just be like, "Oh, why did you rank your type so high on the list?" Because my type goes high on the list. If an INFJ makes a list on which type is the best at reading people, and INFJ says, "Oh, my type goes S tier," nobody's gonna complain. If an ENFJ makes a type list based on um, what's something ENFJs are good at? ENFJs are really good at public speaking. If an ENFJ makes a list on who's the best public speaker and they rank they type S tier, is anybody gonna complain? No. But if I'm a sensor and make a list talking about what sensing type ranks highest on something, suddenly everybody got a problem with it. Which, of course, it's not everybody, but I knew this was gonna happen. But there's certain people that do have a problem with it, and they make it seem like, oh, they act so confused suddenly when it's a sensor that makes the list and they rank their own type high. Or if I rank sensing types high in general, they just get mad at that. I had a person that was acting confused because I ranked ISTPs highest on masculinity lists. And it's like, I've even had that. So it's like, bro, that's one of the things that ISTPs are most known for, literally, is masculinity. People see us as masculine in general. Like, why are you surprised that I rank my why are you making it seem like it's such a big deal that I rank my type highest? Anybody would have told you that. If they rank my type lower on a masculinity list, they're probably being biased. They're not being honest with you. Like, you want me to rank my type low so I can appear humble? Like, come on, bro. That's that virtue signaling, bro. I'm not finna do that. I'm gonna be honest and real about it. I'm being as honest as possible on these tier lists. So yeah, if your ego can't handle it, don't watch it. It's just that simple. Nobody's making you watch these videos. People that are complaining, that's what that's for. But yeah, I figured I'd make this video addressing it, plain as day. But it's not rocket science. You know, it's common sense. You know what I mean? So, anyways, see y'all later.